Look who's back again. Here doing the Traitors all alone. It's a bit foreshadowing if you think about it. Hi, everybody. Welcome to The Cup TV, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea in reality. And we can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I'm your girl, Lana, your resident evil diva, and I'm here to get the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I love me some tea. Her. I am currently, well, I just finished my water, so I don't have anything to drink right now. But I do have my cup mug, and be by myself means get ready for it. Panel full of cup mugs, panel full of cup mugs, beer. Traders edition. And you can get your cup mug or any of our beautiful cup merch at lanagcreations.etsy.com. That link will be in the description below. And we do ship internationally and domestically, so there are no excuses. I mean, unless your postal service is running a little bit slow. And if that's the case, it's okay. It's all right because a delay is never a deny. So you can still get your cup merch. You just have to, go a little bit slower. That's okay. It's all right. It's okay. And if you see me looking over to my side, it's because I have another screen over here that I'm doing all the other stuff with. So bear with me. Don't think I'm not paying attention. I don't think I'm just randomly moving around and shifting my eyes. I'm just trying to get put on the best performance. Well, not performance, but the best podcast that I can. Period. So it is what it is. Y'all know how we do it. Y'all know how we do it. But I am Lana, your resident evil. Y'all know who I am, so I'm gonna do it the best way I can. So here we go. We are talking about Traitors UK episode 7. But y'all know before we jump into it, because it was a lot that happened, subscribe to this channel. Y'all know, subscribe to this channel because we are here giving you almost everything competition reality show. And I'm doing my best to make sure I get every episode out on time. That is my commitment to you. So I all hope that you commit to me by subscribing to this channel. Subscribe to this channel and subscribe to all of our other channels. All those links will be in the description below. And if you're a fan of Eurovision Song Contest, Drag Race, Drag, or Wrestling, WWE, we got those channels for you. So subscribe to those channels. All those links will be in the description below in our link tree. And you can follow our audio podcast links if you need to check us out on the go. And that is done as well. And our Patreon. And my commitment is to get more stuff from the TV channel into the Patreon, early access and exclusive content. So follow our Patreon as well. And of course, follow all of our socials on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky. So follow all of our socials at the Cup Pod. And yeah, let's get into it. So let me come out of villainous mode so we can actually, talk. Period. But Traitors happened, and we were left on a cliffhanger. And it was a lot going on when we left. But the Traitors had to play a game, and they had to mark 4 people, and they had to write their name on a painting. And if they did that, then they got to had to go and play this game. A death match is what they called it. And they went to play the game. And so the 4 people that they marked were Fasha, Leon, Anna, and Alexander. Those are the 4 people that got marked. And I'm going to get myself out of the, not just have me on the screen, as much as I do enjoy me, it's better with, you know. Oh, that's not the one. I always forget which one it is. And it's never that one. It's never the first one I pick. So that's good. Yeah, that works. That works. Well, it's not my favorite. Is it this one? No, it's not that one either. Mm. I mean, equal space, equal place. Okay. I'm not here. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that one. So, yeah, that's good. That's good. Fozia. I keep calling her Faja. My name is Fozia. But Fozia, Leon, Alexander, and Anna. So we saw the first 2 rounds play out. And we saw that Fozia and Leon were the last 2 people. So that's how we got left off the last episode, episode 6. Well, in this episode, they I'm gonna give it up to the editing team. They had me on my toes. They had me like wondering who was the one that actually got murdered, because I was convinced for a while who I thought it was, and it turned out not to be that person. So I was very shocked. So we see Fozia and Leon going back and forth, and oh yeah, let me take the thing off of Leon's face because that's rude. That's rude. So we see Fozia and Leon play, and so this round was a little different. This round was different. They didn't have 2 cards in their hand; they had to choose from. What Claudia did was put 7 cards down on a circle, and they had to pick a card and flip it over. If they flipped over the death card, the next person would go, and then they kept going back and forth until somebody flipped over the life card. And whoever flipped over the life card, they live, that other person dies. And so we see Leon flip over the first card, death card. We see Fozia flip over her card, death card. We see Leon flip over another card, death card. And the music is getting creepier and creepier, and it's building and building. It's do. So we're like, oh, okay, it's just a card. So we see Fozia go grab the card and flip it over, but we don't see what it is because they go into the next day for breakfast. And I was like, oh, okay. I see what y'all doing. So we get breakfast, and the first 2 in are Mina and Linda. And now remember, they had to go and meet the person who got murdered face to face last night after the game. And so they were like, they got a moment to sit and talk to each other. I was like, oh my gosh, this is something. This was fun. We didn't expect this. And it was interesting to be able to go and kill somebody face to face like that. But they both thought it was fun. They thought it was fun, but it was an interesting situation for the 2 of them to do that. And so we see they had a moment to talk, and it was talking about how they should react and how they should deal with what's about to happen, because they are the only people who know who is exactly murdered, and who you know they know this, and they have this information that nobody else has. And it was interesting. It was just I liked seeing the 2 traders having a moment to just talk, and just and Mina warned Linda that she had some heat on her, and that she was like, okay, we might want to figure out our next game plan. What do we do now that you got a little heat on you? Linda was like, yeah. Linda told her, look, I don't want you to get caught up in anything. If you feel like, basically, if the tides are looking towards like it's going in my favor, I will accept that fate, and you just vote for me. Like, you do it, and then just go on and win this thing, because we don't want you to get caught up in anything. And if it was vice versa. Like, yeah, if it was vice versa, I would want the same thing. So Mina was pretty much preparing Linda just in case. Like, girl, if the tide is going in your favor, I'm gonna have to write your name down. And Linda was like, absolutely, you should. Like, you should definitely do that if that's where it's going. And it was it was funny to see that. Now I honestly appreciated that they had that conversation. So it wasn't like, oh no, you blindsided me. It wasn't like the Armani vote. It wasn't like, oh, you blindsided me and I didn't know. It was like, no, I'm telling you, I'm letting you know. If the ship is sinking around you, I'm gonna let it sink. And I'm not going to be there. I'm gonna jump on my lifeboat and, paddle away. So they had that conversation. Um, so everybody started coming in. We saw Freddie and Lisa and Jake and Linda and Joe and Francesca and Leanne and Charlotte. They all come in. And Alex. They all come in. Missing, so they think the last group is going to be either Leon, Alexander, Anna, or Fozia. And so when the last knock on the door happens, in walks Claudia. And everybody is stunned. They are shocked. They are like, wait, what? What is happening right now? Claudia, what are you doing here? Like, coming through the door. What is going on? Mina is freaking out. Linda's freaking out. Everybody's like, what is going on? This game is crazy. So Claudia lets them know that the 4 people were marked and they had to go play a game. And now 3 of them are stranded and 1 is murdered. So it's their job to go find the people who are stranded. So you're going to go find the missing people, and then you'll find out who has been murdered. So that was wild for them. It was like their minds were blown. They were like, oh my gosh, who could it be? It just doesn't make sense. And Claudia also let them know that people who were marked could have been faithful or traitors. So not just, faithful went, it was faithful and or traitors who went. And so they were like, okay, so this is starting to get very interesting. I don't know who it could be. It was one of those, like, we just, this is crazy. What do we do? So they went, conversations were happening, little people still comments on who they wanted to come back. They was like, we really want Anna and Leon to come back because they are like OGs. And no offense to Fazio or Alexander, but we've known them longer. It would make more sense, stuff like that. So they were like, okay, well, it would make more sense if that happened, and we just need to figure it out. And so, people were still talking because they had some time before they went to the mission. And Freddie and Leanne were talking. They were like, I was always wondering how I'm still here. And, the people who are closest to me, are they keeping me alive? Like, maybe Leon or Mina. If Leon comes back, that lets me know he's a faithful. Or he could be a traitor. Or I don't know. It's just, so Leanne is going like, I think Mina or Leon is somebody who could be traitors because they are close to me and they're keeping me. I feel like they're doing that. And same thing. And, everybody was thinking the same thing, like who are close to who, and I feel like this person is keeping me here, blah blah blah. So this is the first time Mina's name has come up to, and it is not the last time because her name has popped up a lot in this episode, which freaked me out a little bit because I like Mina and I want her to win, and so I was a little nervous about her name popping up, but I still think she can handle it. I think she's fine. Um, Normal conversations, who's looking, but everybody's focus is on who are they trying to find, who they hope to find when they go do this mission. So Claudia comes out and let them know that they're on their way to the mission. She had a map for them, and once they get to the next person, that person will have a map, a clue for them. And if they get everybody back in 60 minutes time, they will have they will add 6,500 to the 6,500 pounds to the prize pot. And so they had 60 minutes to go and find 3 people. So they figured out the first riddle, headed out to the forest, saw the casket, freaked out a little bit, like, oh my God, they had them in caskets. Yes, they had them in caskets. And they had them waiting. And so they're like, oh my God, they had them in caskets. So the first person who got rescued was Anna. She came out very dramatic, very shaky, like, oh my God, this was so dramatic. Oh my God, oh my God. Oh. And so she comes out, gives their clue. She tells them about the death match, what happened. And she was literally just shaking, 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 like, oh my God, this is so bad. Oh, this is so bad. And I was like, she's doing she is very convincing that she is a faithful and that maybe she was telling the truth about being recruited and all that stuff. Like she's very playing it up, very much playing up that she is a faithful and that this was so dramatic for her and a traumatic experience for her. So good on her. So they go and they run to the next clue. They figure out what the next clue is. And the next person they rescue is Alexander, which his casket is floating in a boat in the middle of a lake. And so they pull him in. He comes out the casket, and his reaction is the complete opposite of Anna's. He's not trembling. He's not shaking. He's not like, oh my God, this is so traumatic. And even when he's explaining the game of what happened, he was talking in hypotheticals like, okay, let's say I went first. Okay, I didn't go first, but let's say I did. And they were like, why don't you just tell us what exactly happened? And he was like, I mean, how it happened and what happened is not is the most important. Is what happened, and what happened is I win, I get the life card, and I leave, and so Fazia and Leon are left. That's all I know. And so that raises a couple of red flags for people. They're a little suspicious of Alexander because they were like, I think the traitors will put one person in there who is a traitor to try to throw us off and say, oh, wait, this person is a traitor. So one of them have to be the traitor. And then Fazia and Alexander comes back into the game. One of them had to come back as a traitor, right? So they're trying to figure out if Alexander is a traitor. And especially if Fazia is alive at this point, they're like, then one of them is a traitor. And I would think it's him over Fazia, blah, blah, blah. What else? But most of the people are hoping that it was Leon. Like they were a little bummed out when they opened the casket and Alexander was there, and they were like, "Oh, we wanted to be Leon," but they like literally they were like, "Yeah, Alexander's here, but we wanted to be Leon." And I found it to be a little savage, but I understood. I understand why they felt that way, but this man is alive. He would like some, like, yeah, you're here. Like they're like, no, peer, you're here, good. Where's Leon? It's so crazy. He gave me middle child syndrome. He was the second one, and they were like, "Oh, but where's the baby? Like, you're here, good. No, it's good to see you, but where's the baby?" So didn't care. Excited to see Anna. Yay, firstborn. Second one's here. Cool. Where's the baby? Third one. And so they get to the last place. They had like 8 minutes to try to figure out this riddle. And so they had to count the points on the card. It was 8 points. So they had to go find gravesite number 8. And they went, found 8, or what they thought was 8, because Francesca found it and it was actually 7. When they started digging, they did have like was digging up this hole and then looking like, this is 7, that's not even 8. So they finally went to find 8, and 8 literally was sitting on top of a thing. They could have just opened it up and went. But they finally find it and they open it, and out pops Leon. So Faja was murdered. And then we see the flashback of how it happened. And when she flipped over that card, it was a death card. And then the next card Leon flipped over was the life card. And so he was super excited, which it was a tough spot because he's excited because he is still in the game. He still can win this game and provide for his family. He's very happy, but bittersweet because he's sitting here looking at Faja, who has lost the game, who's obviously a faithful because she lost. And um it's just like, oh, wow, wow, dang, she lost. And so Leon now is like, I promise you I'm a faithful. I promise you. And Father's like, go win this, go win this. And so he gets up and he leaves. And when he leaves, the traitors start coming in, and Mina and Linda take off their robes, hand Faja letter, and she reads it by, "You have been murdered by order of the traitors." And Faja's like, "Linda, I knew it was you. I knew it was you. Your days are numbered. You die next." And Linda was like, "Get over it." Like, okay, girl, bye. Faja was like, "Mm-hmm. You going next. Don't worry about it. Don't get too comfortable." And Faja was like, "Whatever." I mean, and Linda was like, "Whatever." But Fazia was murdered. I will say her name correctly. Fazia was murdered, unfortunately. But Fazia was murdered, and everybody was super happy to see Leon. Um, but Leon was feeling some type of way, which I understand. He was feeling some type of way about all of this. He was like, I can't trust anybody because all of these people are patting me on my back like, "It's so good to see you. We wanted you to come back." But somebody put me in this position to do this. Somebody or somebody's put me in this position. So I don't know who's telling me the truth right now. And I am feeling some type of way that I even had to be put in this spot to have to play for my life. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. So they get back to the castle. On the way back from the castle, um, they put Alexander, Leon, and Anna in one car, and they were like, "This is traumatic. This is wild." And they contemplate like, somebody's probably going to be looking at the three of us as a traitor because we came back, and the traitors could have put somebody in here. Da da da. Everybody, and that's the thought that everybody was having. And Mina was pushing it a little bit, and everybody was thinking it like it could be one of them. Why wouldn't the traders put themselves in that position where they would just sit there and yeah, and not go home? So it was like, wow. So they then everybody gets back to the house and at the castle, and people are contemplating on who it could be. Linda had said something in the car with Freddie, and I think it was Freddie and Charlotte or somebody. But she was saying that or it might have been Freddie and Mina. But Linda was in. She was like, I feel like I'm looking at Leanne right now because Leanne has said something to me. What she said to me about Livy, and I found that to be very weird that she would bring that up, or why she would say that when I felt like I was very close to Linda. Now I do think she said rude. Like I think it was rude. I think it was weird. And so when Freddie went and told Leanne that Linda was saying that she was going to gun for her because she feels like what she said about Livy was rude, and but he didn't mention the weird part. Leanne was like, "What do you mean rude? I don't think it was rude at all. I was just being honest and saying that Livy had suspicions on Linda." And she was like, "So should I just tell her? Could I confront her?" And she was like, "I mean, if you want to." And she was like, "Yeah, I think I'm gonna say something. I think I'm gonna say something because I don't think that was, I don't think that's a good idea. I don't think she should say that." Um, so I was like, okay. So she goes and Leanne happened to be in the kitchen with Alex and Joe, and I think it was Lisa. And so she was saying the same thing that she said in the car about Leanne, right when Leanne walked in. And so Leanne was like, "So Linda, do you have any, suspicions on somebody?" And Leanne was like, Lisa was like, not Lisa. Linda was like, "Yeah, I was talking about you. I was thinking that I have some suspicions about you because of," she was like, "I heard that." She was like, "Okay, yeah, good." So I'm being honest and telling you what it was, what I said. And so Liam was like, "I heard you said I was rude." And Linda was like, "I never said rude. I said it was weird that you would say that about Livy because I didn't know that. Like, I thought me and Livy were close." She was like, "Yeah, but she suspected you. And all I did was say was that she had some suspicions on you." And Linda was like, "And I just thought it was weird." She said, "No, you thought it was rude." She was like, "I don't think I'm rude." She was like, "I don't think you're rude. I never said rude. I said weird." Now, I think she said rude, but I also think she said weird. She said both. So I think both were right. Both of them were right. But Linda was like, "I think somebody set me up because I never said rude. I said I didn't like it, and I thought it was rude that you would say that when Livy had never said anything to me about having suspicions on me, and I thought we were close. So I would think she would tell me something like that, or she would have brought it up." And so Leanne was like, "I don't. Just because you felt close to her doesn't mean she didn't have suspicions on you. We all have suspicions on each other." And she was like, "I know, it's the game." And so she was like, "I mean, and that's just what it is. I feel like you are being, you're trying to put stuff on me because you don't like what I said." And she was like, "I mean, it's not about liking what you said. I'm just saying, I just find it suspicious." So they left it at that. We knew it was going to come up at the round table. Um, Anna is on this kick where she just knows for 100% that Mina is the traitor. And she said, "You know how I know? Because she asked me to hold her drink for her." And I think that's how she marked me in this thing. That's how she marked me. They're coming for me, and I think she marked me. And so here's my thing. I'm like, they did the whole challenge thing last season. There's no way they could do the challenge thing 2 seasons in a row because people would be on to anybody asking folks to hold a drink. And when they showed the clip of what she was talking about, Mina never told her to hold her drink. Mina said, "Hey, could you watch my drink? And if you go to the billiards room, could you take it with you? If you're going into the billiards room, could you take it with you?" And so Anna was sure that was how she got marked in the game because she took Mina's drink. Now, we didn't see her take Mina's drink. We just heard Mina ask her to, move the drink for her if she goes to the billiards room. And so there was that. But she was 100% sure that Mina was a traitor because of that. I mean, she's right about Mina, but it ain't because of that. That ain't how she got marked. But she is right about Mina. But that's not how what happened. Alex is listening to Linda a little bit and believing Linda about Leanne and how this whole thing is playing out. And so, not sure if if it's Leanne, or if Leanne could possibly be it. Um, Jake, of course, is still on the Linda train. Um, it was interesting. So we do get to the round table. Round table happens. Here's where it gets good, because the round table starts and Linda's like, "Let me go first. Let me go first. I need to go first. Let me tell you." So she brings up, she was like, "Jake, you have heard me. You misheard what I said to you. What I said to you." Oh wait, before we get to that, because Joe and Linda had a little part in the kitchen when she was like, "I'm going to say my piece at this round table. I'm coming out, coming in hot." And Joe was like, "You should always have said your piece at the round table. You shouldn't just wait until you're in trouble, because that looks suspicious." And she was like, "Yeah, you're right." She said, I probably should have played it that way, but I made a mistake. I felt like being quiet and, listening is the better option, but obviously I was wrong." So he was like, "Yeah, you should always say your piece." And so that was something. So Linda's like, "I'm about to say my piece because I sat back too long. I've been quiet and listening. Now I want to say my piece. Jake, you heard me wrong when I said that I hold my emotions in. I never said I was emotionless. I said I hold my emotions in, and I try to hold them in the best I can. And, sometimes they come out, but I usually try to hold my emotions in and keep them close to my chest. And so saying I'm emotionless is not what I said. I said that I try to hold my emotions in. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't." And Jake was like, "Yeah, if that was the only thing, then I would let it go. But it's been so many things, and I just can't let it go." And she was like, "I mean, there's nothing I can say to you that's going to change your mind, and that's whatever." um, and she was like, "And now, Leanne, to you, what I said, somebody's trying to set me up, because I never said you were rude, and they want you to be upset with me, and I never said you were rude. I said that I felt it was weird that Livy has not said anything about me, her being suspicious of me, and then that's when you want to bring it up, like you weren't close to her. She's been suspicious of you this whole time. Like, I don't, we can't be close." And she was like, "I just don't feel like," Leanne comes in and she's just like, "I mean, I don't think anybody's trying to set you up. I just think they said what you said. And I just, because Livy didn't, you know, I just didn't see y'all being close, because she was suspicious of you. So you to come out and be crying about her was a little weird to me. It just came out of left field. It was like weird." And she was just like, "I mean, I don't know. It seems weird that you would come for me, because I thought your comments were, you know." And so she's a little defensive. She is on edge right now. Leanne is on edge. So then Alexander pops in and it's like, and just to, you know, add to that. And Leanne was like, "I mean, if you got, no," she said, "if anybody got something to say, then just say it. I can take it." And so she's like, "Oh," he was like, "Oh, okay, well, let me tell you." And she was like, "Say it then." He was like, "I'm about to." So he goes on his spiel about how he feels like she might be, because everybody doing the whole closest thing, person next, it might be the people who are close. And I think somebody had brought up the fact that everybody who was in the game, besides, oh, that's Xander, who besides, oh, what was the joke? I don't know. Besides himself, he was like, "If you're close to everybody," and I think they would have threw everybody off, because Fasha gave you the shield. Oh, that was his point. Alexander said Fasha gave you the shield after the cages thing, and then nobody got murdered the next day, and you immediately was like, "They tried to murder me." And she was like, "Yeah, because we didn't know about them trying to recruit Anna." And he was like, "But why would that be the first thing you say? Why wouldn't you assume that they recruited?" Or you didn't even say they tried to murder me, or maybe they recruited. You was just like, "They murdered me. They murdered me." And I understand his point. He was like, "You didn't say like other options were available. You just immediately assumed that they tried to murder you and you had to shield to protect yourself." And she was like, "Yeah, because that's what happens when nobody dies." And he's like, "But like that was your only assumption." She was like, "Yeah, I mean, Mina had the other one. Like she didn't." And he was like, "Yeah, but you were the one very like saying, apparently they tried to kill you, and you know they tried to kill you, and you had to shield to protect yourself. And he was like, but that's because we didn't know anything about the recruitment. And he was like, that's neither here nor there. It was just the way you said it. And so then she was like, don't be patronizing to me. And he was like, I'm not trying to be patronizing. And here's the thing, I don't think he was trying to be patronizing. I don't think he was patronizing her. Now, if you think he was, okay. Because and please know that I am quick to call out a man for talking at a woman, because honestly, no, don't play that. I don't think that was what he was doing, and I don't think he was like trying to mansplain, or, and I think he was just trying to give out why his reasons he thought that she could possibly be a traitor, and she took it so defensively, like she, and only because she is a faithful, it's, and we know that she was so passionate about it. I understand, because it's like when people are coming for you and you know you did nothing wrong, you are like trying to stand your ground, and you're very passionate about what you're saying. And so I get why she was that way, but it just didn't look right. Like if I was in the game, I'd be like, even though I'd be wrong, I still look at her like, I don't know, girl. I don't know, girl. I don't know, girl. But she was very like taking very much like, and in contrast, because Alexander also got a lot of heat on him, because people were like, I think one of the three of y'all have to be traitors. You came back into the game. You could have came in as a traitor. And he was just like, I mean, I understand. I get your point. And if that's the case, write my name down. Mm-hmm. I get it. Like he was very cool, calm, and collected about it, even though he knew who he was, and he knew he was a faithful. That getting upset will only make him look more like a traitor. And so he was very calm. And Leanne, on the other hand, was getting very riled up and very. But Anna then brings up Mina. It was like, I'm bringing you up because of the drink. And Mina was like, I never told you, I never gave you my drink. And that doesn't make sense. She said, I never gave you my drink. I asked you if you're going to leave, could you, if you're going to the billiard room, could you grab my drink and take it with you? I never gave it to you. I never handed it to you. I was just saying if you are going to leave. And so Anna was like, but I don't think she, she didn't really back down from that. And so they were like, everybody was like, so Leon or Alexander, did anybody offer you a drink or tell you to hold their drink or anything like that? Because if that's the way people were marked, then you would have everybody, they all would have had to take in somebody else's drink at some point. And neither Leon nor Alexander could pinpoint and say, no, I don't think anybody handed me a drink or made me take a drink. So that point was kind of debunked, but they kind of left it like, we don't know. So I don't know. I felt it was debunked, but it could be left open. But it should be debunked, because like Leon nor Alexander had a crystal clear view of somebody handing them a drink. And if that was the marking, they would have handed them a drink. But that wasn't the way. That wasn't the way. So we get down, and Mina's like, I am a faithful. This is crazy. I didn't give you the drink. Leanne is still a little up in arms, huffing and puffing. But the votes start to happen. Claudia comes, she tells them to stop talking, write down the vote. They start to vote, and the vote is Linda, Leanne, Alexander, Linda, Leanne, Alexander. 2-2-2, Linda, Leanne, Alexander. 3 for Alexander. 3 for Linda. 4 for Linda. 5 for Linda. 6 for Linda gets banished. Linda gets banished, y'all. And we saw the writing on the wall. Foster even called it out. Fosia even called it out on her way out. She called it out. Linda gets up there and she's like, y'all, I had the best time of my life. I'll remember this forever. And the fact that I did this at this age is great. I will cherish it forever. I am a traitor. And everybody's like, yes. Jake is like, I knew it. I knew it. From day one, the head turn. I knew it. I knew it. Yeah, you knew it. And now it's, for me, I think it's time to die. But he's like, I knew it. I knew it. And the only reason, Jake, you were safe in this game is because of Linda. So you knew it, and you should have kept your mouth so you can stay in this game longer. But he knew it. He knew it, and he knew it, and he knew it. And so, yeah, Linda's gone. Another traitor down. Mina is all by herself. So everybody's celebrating and happy. Jake gets 3 hip hip hoorays from Joe because he got another traitor, and he knew Linda was a traitor from day one. It was the head turn. It was the head turn. Trust your gut. The head turn too. She looked up when she said traitors. Yes, she looked up. He trusted the head turn. So everybody's feeling great. Everybody's excited. Everybody's like, Leanna's still a little, try to calm down. Still trying to figure out if there are traitors around, how many are left. We see Mina with a group of people sitting outside, and they're talking, and they're like, how many traitors do you think is left? There could be 2, maybe 1, maybe 3. I don't know. It could be, I don't know. And people are like, oh, this is so frustrating. But Francesca is like, I think I know who it is. I think it's Mina. And she's like, I think it's Mina. And Mina's like, and so she's telling this, I think, to Charlotte. And I think it might have been Anna. I know it was Charlotte, or Leanne. No, it was Charlotte and Leanne. Charlotte and Leanne. She's telling Charlotte and Leanne, I was like, could be Mina, because like, why am I still here? And the people I'm closest to are Mina. Yeah. She's trying to get rid of her. Like, honestly, Mina, start to send your friends home. Like, it's time to send them all home. Especially now. I think you save Jake for later. He should go because, Linda's gone. No need to keep him around anymore. But I think killing Leanne put some suspicion on Alexander. Mm-hmm. And maybe Alex, because Alex also voted for Leanne. So I feel like, might be time. That's me personally. My personal thought is she might want to get rid of Leanne at this point. But we'll see what happens because we don't know. We do see that after a while, everybody's still talking and figuring out. So the toll, it's time for everybody to go to bed. Mina goes to the tournament all by her lonesome. And so Claudia comes in and like, per the rules of the game, you have to seduce and recruit, but you have to recruit. And she said, and you will do this face to face. This person will either accept your offer to become a traitor, or they will be murdered on the spot. And so here's my thing. I went through several options, and I was like, do she go for someone like Jake? He's known faithful now. He's a known faithful. Everybody's going to say, he went for Linda. Why would he be a traitor? So nobody's going to go for him. But then Mina says something like, I want to continue in the sisterhood of it all because I miss Linda. Me and Linda, we're sisters, and I want to continue in the sisterhood of it all. And I like it. I love it. Honestly, love it. I'm here for it. But I'm like, do we do this continually? Like, I felt like if Anna would have accepted and then, joined, and then we lost Linda, then maybe we go out of the sisterhood. But I feel like now maybe it's time to look beyond that and get someone who you kind of need a male player to be like, yep, we got all these women out. We had 2 women traitors. It got to be a guy this time. Got to be a dude. And I feel like anybody who joins, their behavior will change. And so you take someone like a Jake who is now 100% faithful in everybody's eyes, make him turn him into a traitor. I wouldn't get Alexander or Freddie because they already got heat on them. But take a Jake who's nobody said his name. Get him to become a traitor because I think he will to stay in the game. He won't turn around and be like, well, just kill me. I'm not going to make no sense. Bring him in. But then I was like, if you want to stick to the sisterhood, what sisterhood would you pick? Leanne has heat on her now. At first, before this, I would have said Leanne because she trusts you, you trust her, and I think y'all could run it together if she didn't already have heat on her. But she has heat on her now. So I feel like the only option, because Anna, she will probably die again, say no thank you, and let the I wouldn't trust her either. But I was like, the options for me probably would be Frankie or Charlotte. And Charlotte had some heat on her before, but it's off of her completely now. Nobody's even thinking about Charlotte. Francesca's never had heat on her. So I feel like those two would be the only options. Lisa is 100% faithful in people's eyes. But I mean, it's like, do I make the priest become a traitor and lie? I don't want to do that. Like her conscience head in right there, which I get to. I'm like, yeah, no, I don't know. But she ends up making her decision and she writes the name, sends the letter off to with Claudia. And we see Claudia go and deliver it. And then we see Charlotte walk into the room, open it. The letter says, you have the traitors would like a meeting with you. Go to the fire pit immediately. That's all. She has to go to the fire pit immediately. And it was no, like, you have a choice. It was go to the fire pit immediately. You have been summoned to the by the traitors. Go to the fire pit immediately. So she's like, I can't say no. And I'm not disobedient, so I'm going to go. So we are left off with Charlotte going to the fire pit and coming face to face with a traitor, but the traitor has not revealed themselves. So that is where we left off. That is where it's over. That's it. So what y'all think? Do y'all think Mina is making the right choice in choosing Charlotte? Is Charlotte the best bet? I personally feel like Charlotte might be the best bet. I thought her or Frankie. But what do you think? Who do you think she should have chosen to be a traitor if not Charlotte? Let me know in the comments below who you think would have been the better option for Mina if not Charlotte. Or do you agree with her in picking Charlotte? Let me know in the comments. I want to hear y'all comments. I thank you also for the comments that you send. I want to hear more. I want y'all to tell me what you're thinking, how we're enjoying this season, because baby, I am enjoying it very much. I want to know what you think. So please leave comments. Let me know what you think. That's it. That's all I got. That's really all it was. But y'all know what to do. I thank y'all. Y'all got us to 300 subscribers. So far, we're on our way to 1,000. I am trying very, very hard to make that happen by the end of the year. So please, please, please subscribe to this channel if you're coming across it for the first time, and subscribe to us so we can continue to give you great content. I'm going to continue to do my best to get content out on time every week for you guys. And I have people who are going to come in and help me make that happen. So if we continue to do our part, please continue just to help us out and subscribe. Subscribe to this channel, subscribe to all of our other channels. We have 3 other channels that we are working with, and we would love, love, love if you would subscribe to all of those channels, as well as our audio podcast links if you need to check us out on the go, our Patreon, that if you want to get early access to some shows and exclusive content to some shows, hit the Patreon, join our Patreon, just $5 a month. And you can get our socials at the Cup Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, and Blue Sky as well. So please follow us on all of our socials, and you can get your merch at lanagcreations.etsy.com. That link is in the description below. You get your, if you get a mug, get a mug 2.0, new and improved, and then the rest of our beautiful merch that's down there as well. Get your cup merch. And on that note, I need to go make some more Traitors decisions. So I'm gonna get out of here. So I'll see you guys on the next episode. Bye. Cheers, you guys. Cheers. Bye. What? Bye. Cheers.